The people you depend on. Fresno's Morning News on News Talk 580, KMJ.
Oh, I'm going to love this. 749 at KMJ as we talk politics. A new book, Conspiracies with the former Minnesota governor, superstar wrestler, Jesse the Body Ventura. Jesse, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ray. How are you today?
Oh, I'm like wonderful. Now that you're here, I'm thrilled. Hey, listen, I got to ask you a couple of things about your past. Do you miss being on the front line of politics? I know you're still deeply involved, but as a governor, you're on the front line. You ever miss that?
Sure you do. You miss the ability to do things, to accomplish things. When you get put in charge of a state where you were born, of course, you want to make the state as best you can, and you're in a position where you're able to do that. And certainly I miss that part of it. What
about the dimension of politics now? It's changed a little bit since you've been in there.
Well, amazing. It's only been 10 years, but yeah, it is, and to the worse. It's not getting better, it's getting worse, in my opinion. We have to take our country back, and the answer is as simple as the nose on your face, but it's as difficult as climbing Mount Everest, and you know what that is?
What?
Stop voting for Democrats and Republicans. These people are equally responsible for the shape our country's in. They've done a horrible job. They're incapable of governing anymore, and we need to abolish these political parties like John Adams warned us years ago.
So it would be worthless to ask you if you had anybody with any hope for on the Republican side that's currently running for president.
Yeah, Ron Paul.
Okay. I should have known.
Oh, yeah. No, I would. If Ron Paul, I'm hoping he ain't going to get the Republican nomination, rest assured. They treat Ron Paul like the red-headed stepchild who showed up the day they read the will. And so Ron Paul's not going to get it. He's hanging in there. He's being very smart because he's getting face time, he's getting TV time. But when they choose their candidate, I'm hoping that Congressman Paul will then jump to the Libertarians. And I made the statement that if he would jump to the Libertarians, I would give serious consideration to running with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Like number 2 on the ticket?
Yeah, VP.
Have you had that conversation with him?
Not directly, but he knows about it, and he's being very coy. He's riding the Republican wave right now, which he should do. That's a smart move. But once they make their choice, then it'll be up to Congressman Paul of whether he shows the courage to jump and run as an independent.
Okay.
He's going to win. He's going to win some of their primaries. Like the mainstream media, when he finished an eyelash at second in Iowa, they didn't even mention him.
But if indeed, let's theorize a little bit here, Jesse. If he were to run as a Libertarian in this upcoming cycle in 2012,
yeah,
and you were to run as the number 2 on the ticket, which I think it'd be a lot of fun to watch. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Aren't you afraid, though, that's going to split up the other side of the vote and just give it back to Obama? And certainly you can't be a fan of his.
No, because that is baloney. You vote for the person you want to be president. You don't take votes from anyone else. When someone voted for me as governor, as an independent in Minnesota, they weren't choosing me because of someone else. They were choosing me because they wanted me to be the governor. That's a typical ploy by the Democrats and Republicans. Whenever they lose an election, they always blame it rather than on themselves. They blame it on the independent candidate siphoning off their supposed votes.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think a Paul Ventura ticket can win?
Absolutely. I don't go into politics to lose. Put it this way. In Minnesota, I was polling 10% after the primary. In 7 weeks, I won the election. It's simple. If I have ballot access and they allow me in the debates, I will beat them. It's that simple. I've done it twice.
All right. I want to get to the book, 63 documents that the government doesn't...
I'd rather you get to my court case.
Well, I'll get to that too, but let me ask you one wrestling question, if I may.
All right.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, he's jumped back in for a little while. Do you ever think about it?
Me? I'm 60 years old. The Rock's 40. There's a little difference there. That's like asking Muhammad Ali to get back in the ring.
But look at these guys like Flair and Hogan and all that. I mean, they're still bouncing around taking their knocks.
I retired. I retired 21 years ago. I never looked back. I never made a comeback. I never went back to the ring. I'm probably the only wrestler who, when he said retired, actually did.
Did you ever watch it?
No.
Well, you're done with it.
I haven't watched it. The only contact I had was 2004 when they brought me to Madison Square Garden and inducted me into the Hall of Fame.
Right-o. All right.
That's all. I mean, my life has moved on. I discuss things on TV now beyond wrestling.
What about acting? What about acting?
Sure, I love to do that. I just did a role in Terre Haute, Indiana, a film called The Drunk, where I actually play the independent Indiana governor who's leaving office.
Typecasting.
So it was a part kind of made for me. I think that's why they cast me for it.
All right. Tell us about your court case real quick. What's going on here?
The court case is this. I sued under my Fourth Amendment constitutional rights, reasonable search and seizure, because they wouldn't allow me to sue under the American Disabilities Act. You know why? It doesn't apply to our government. It applies to everyone in the private sector, but not the government, the American Disabilities Act, because I'm technically disabled. So I sued under the Fourth Amendment, reasonable search and seizure. I don't believe it's reasonable to believe Jesse Ventura poses a threat. I've been flying 30 years. I'm a mayor and a governor and an honorably discharged Navy veteran. Why am I treated like a criminal at an airport? And so they won't even let me go to court. They threw it out.
Oh, boy.
So people need to realize you have no constitutional or Bill of Rights protection at any airport in America. It's soon going to be bus stations, train stations, and with the TSA, they're expanding, and Tennessee is the first state that's going to allow them on the highways. They're going to be called TSA Viper teams, where they're going to be able to pull you over and frisk you down out on the highway.
For what reason?
Terrorism. We're fighting the war on terror. You might be a terrorist.
Oh, boy.
You know, the point is this, people. Remember, you got about as much chance of being hit by a terrorist as an individual as you do winning the Powerball. But we seem to be willing to give up our freedoms to have government make us safe. Remember what Ben Franklin said. He said, those that will give up their liberty for security shall have and deserve neither.
That's a good quote.
The government can't make you safe without taking away your freedom.
Well, then how do we stay safe?
You don't. That's the point. That's the great thing about America, is that you can come here, you can have freedom, and you can have personal responsibility. Don't look to the government to make you safe. They can't do it.
All right, Jesse, I'm running out of time here, but the book, just one question. 63 documents the government doesn't want you to read. What's the number one document?
You can't pick out a number one. These documents are so inflammable and show the behavior of our government in the last 50 years that it's not surprising that terrorists would attack us. Our behavior throughout the world has been appalling, and these documents prove it.
Give us one document very quickly.
One? Shoot, there's 63 of them. Let's see. We'll give you one very quickly that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. How about the Internet kill switch?
What's that?
They've given the president the power to kill the Internet if he feels like it.
Just bring down the whole thing?
Yep.
Wow.
And the Congress has given him that power. You know they had to do it because the Internet's running wild and they can't control it. So they can shut it off.
Well, with that, I'm out of time. But, hey, this has been a joy, Jesse Ventura. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you, and thanks for letting me exercise my diminishing First Amendment rights.
Anytime, brother, anytime.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. 7:57 and a half at KMJ. That was Jesse Ventura.